No, good afternoon, everybody. We'll try and get going very shortly if you could take your seats. Okay, great. We're just trying to get everybody chaperoned in here. You can hear the bells going outside the door there, but hopefully we'll get underway very shortly. This last session is entitled The Hidden Curriculum, and you heard mention that in the previous session too as well. And what do we mean by the hidden curriculum? Well, it's all those implied skills, those implied behaviors, those skill sets that help us work well together, that help us, that set our values, that set what we're about, that set our direction as a community of oncologists, and particularly also a community of oncologists' interest in clinical trials. So with that, we have some fantastic presentations coming up now in this very last session. We've got 5 of them. We are going to keep on time, just a little nod to that, and hopefully a little bit of time for discussion. First thing to say is, unfortunately, I'm going to send apologies for my co-chair, Professor Grainne, who cannot unfortunately make it. So it's just the one Nordy you've got towards the end this afternoon. Okay, so our very first session is from Dr. Cillian Nugent. Cillian is a consultant in radiation oncology in Cork University with a special interest in head and neck and breast and thyroid cancers. And Cillian's going to talk to us about the importance of mentoring oncology research. Cillian, the floor is yours. There we go.
So thanks very much for Cancer Trials Ireland for giving me the opportunity to talk today about what I think is a really important topic, and it's a topic that's sometimes not topic that we don't really talk maybe formally enough, but happens kind of organically in our day-to-day training and our day-to-day clinical practice. And I think today I'm going to have a chat and a discussion really about whether we can bring mentorship into a more structured and formal way into our practice. So first of all, I'm going to invite everyone in the room to have a think about what mentorship means to you. So when you're thinking about mentorship and you're thinking about your career, who were your mentors? Who were people that inspired you to go into your specialty? Or who were the mentors that when you were trying to get some publications, who you could go to and have a chat about your academic research, and it would give you advice and counselling and coaching on how to get a project over the line. So myself, I'm from Kells, County Meath, so obviously I'm classically trained. So mentor comes from Greek mythology. So mentor was a friend of Ulysses, and he gave spiritual and pragmatic guidance. So when I was thinking about what mentorship is, what I was thought it would be to contrast to what it isn't. So supervision and mentorship are 2 very different concepts. So for me, mentorship is career-focused, it's supportive, it's a longitudinal relationship based on development. Supervision is more on project delivery, mentorship is more about a professional trajectory. And why does this matter in oncology? So oncology research is uniquely demanding. It's a rapidly evolving science. So I actually started off as a medical oncology registrar before I was mentored into RadOnc by Professor Brennan. And I was just thinking about how I started off in 2016, and I was thinking about the lung MDM and how much that MDM would have changed over 10 years based on clinical trial data. Like a lung MDM from 2016 and 2026 will be unrecognizable in the approach to management. Trials are complex now. We have to have a good understanding of ethics, governance, and funding. And also we have a high emotional and clinical workload. So the take-home message is that talent alone is insufficient without guidance. So the research pipeline is quite fragile. So there are many attritional moments in your career where you may become disinterested in research or not pursue with passion clinical research. And that we know from evidence that there's actually quite a high dropout rate in clinical scientist pathways, and mentoring is strongly associated with retention. So there are different models of mentorship. So there's informal, there's structured, there's peer. That can be more in a dyadic form, in one-to-one. It can be peer mentorship as a group. It can be team mentorship. Then there's this reverse mentorship where someone junior can actually mentor someone senior. Which I think was the plot of the intern. Haven't seen that movie. So what is the need for mentorship? So evidence has shown that mentorship programs can, in academic centres, have a higher, if an academic centre has a mentorship program, they have a higher publication rate, and trainees and early academic researchers have published more and earlier. Departments tend to secure competitive funding, progress to leadership, trainees tend to progress to leadership roles, and then remain in academic oncology. So mentorship is a predictor of success, and it strongly influences outcome in an institution. So backing those statements up with a little bit of data. So this was an assessment study that evaluated mentorship practices among academic radiation oncologists, and it was a 158 completed survey. And in the faculty with the highest and faculties that had mentorship programs had a much higher publication and much higher quality of publication. So that has some correlation, I guess, between having mentorship programs and having a higher quality of academic output. So there's some North American data about radiation oncology trainees' experience with mentorship programs and having mentors. And interestingly, in surveys done in this study, about 50% of radiation oncologists felt they didn't have a direct access to a mentor in their daily clinical life. I think just of interesting note, 98% of the Fortune 500 companies have mentorship programs. So it must be effective if it's making money. Now, looking at some of the science behind mentorship programs. So this was a publication this was a systematic review of a publication of 14 publications that looked at mentorship programs and had subjective and objective outcomes, with subjective outcomes being the satisfaction of mentees and how they felt their mentorship program was going, as well as some objective markers, again, research productivity, and then likelihood to hold a senior faculty position, and whether a student would actually enter RadOnc as a residency program. So there were pros and cons in these 14 papers. So mentorships were more satisfied in formal mentorship programs. They had increased confidence in achieving career goals, and it had improved research productivity, and they felt they had a greater work-life satisfaction. Some of the cons that this study reported was that there was a difficulty in finding a mentor, lack of suitability of mentor, and inadequate interest and commitment of the mentor. So sometimes it's not, if you're going to set up a mentorship program, there has to be a commitment and passion of both the mentor and mentee to be effective in that program. So this is an example of a real-world example of a formal mentorship program that was ran in Princess Margaret, led by Jennifer Croak. This was where there was 10 mentors and 11 mentees that were assigned to each other. They had a clear goals and vision for what their mentorship was going to entail in terms of academic and clinical and career progression. They met formally once a year and informally once a month. And interestingly, they also have to sign a non-disclosure agreement as well in this program, which I think kind of brings into that idea of trust in mentorship and kind of psychology safety in forming that relationship with a mentor. As part of this mentorship program, they did qualitative studies and interviews to see whether there was any themes of benefit of the mentorship program. And they had identified 4 key themes after interviewing the mentor and mentees, with the first one being, what is the ideal relationship? So the hallmarks of an ideal mentorship relationship is respect and trust, explicit expectations. So there has to be a clarity of the vision of what you're trying to achieve with a mentorship program, honesty and constructive criticism, and then being supportive and engaged when available. The second theme was the value of mentorship. So having a mentor that was able to navigate complex challenges in your career, whether that's local politics, life transitions, work-life balance, networking. So that was a value of mentorship in terms of navigating your career. Then another important concept is sponsorship, which I guess is related to advocacy. So having a senior mentor is also who advocates on your behalf and sponsors your interest is a very important aspect of mentorship. So how would we develop a formal academic mentorship program in a radiation oncology training scheme? So this was a systematic review that kind of gave a checklist of key criteria that would be core to developing a mentorship program. A lot of these are, I'll discuss later, are kind of maybe perhaps overcoming the barriers of creating a mentorship program. So a lot of the, so I just take it into the Irish context. So in Ireland we have a 4 to 5 year structured training scheme with a plus or minus fellowship, and clearly we've seen some really good discussions today about the success of our Slicker Fellowship through Luke's. Our supervision structure is in place, so during the training scheme we have clear goals for supervision in terms of learning goals and training outcomes. But I would argue there is probably an opportunity to embed a more mentorship systematically into our training program. So looking at that previous checklist, what would be the barriers and challenges to creating a mentorship program? So obviously the key one would be time pressure, lack of mentor training, so training workshops and having actual access to mentor training material, having good match between mentor and mentees. So in about 2 years ago at our ESTRA, which is our European Society for Radiation Oncology European meeting, they actually had a blind date matching mentor, or they had it wasn't a blind date, it was a speed date matching mentors and mentees. So junior doctors and trainees, they put in their criteria of who they'd like to be mentored by, and then they had a speed date with some senior clinicians, and then I think maybe they were swiping right or swiping left. I'm not sure what was going on, but they were matched anyway, and it was a program that actually a formal mentorship program through the ESTRO conference that I think has worked very well. So how can we build a culture? I think there was a slide earlier on that culture beats strategy. So how can we kind of build a culture of mentorship? So I think perhaps establishing a formal framework within the radiation oncology scheme, or having a formal mentorship program for new consultant appointments could be a good suggestion for or good time points for having a mentorship program. Then we need to support mentors in terms of training, workshops, protected time, acknowledging it. This isn't just something that's an addition to your clinical workload, which we're all very busy, but this is a core and foundation component of your practice. And then we would probably, during a mentorship program, you probably need a regular evaluation feedback. So what we really want to have is that just going from kind of more structured supervision, tick box, these are your skills you need to acquire during your training scheme, to a more of a mentorship style and embed that into the culture. I think it's a core value, and I think it's really important for sustaining the future generations. So just to finish up, as a discussion, and maybe happy to have a chat with anyone about this. Who mentored you and how? Where does mentoring fall in our system? And what would meaningful mentorship look like locally? Thank you for your time and attention.
Cillian, thanks very much. It's a really great run through the concept of mentoring. Get to take a seat here. I'm just a little bit concerned that wasn't necessarily mentoring you were discussing back there, but a dating app maybe, was it? But anyway. But going back to mentoring, I mean, thinking about it more generally, do you think a formalized program as opposed to an ad hoc one, which one's better, do you think?
So I think organically there's a lot of mentorship happening in our training scheme.
Okay.
I can speak that personally, just going through the training scheme. I think having it formalized, the evidence has shown that it does improve both publication output and satisfaction rate among trainees. It also probably gives a framework for acknowledging mentorship that's happening anyway. It's probably having a formal mentorship program is a way of actually reallocating resources, particularly time. So I would probably advocate for formalizing and creating an actual mentorship program within the training scheme.
So as long as you have some type of mentorship, that's probably the way to go. But if you haven't, create a formal mentorship program in your system.
Yeah, certainly locally it could be done.
Any questions from the audience? Anything anyone to ask? We've got questions over here.
Thanks very much. It's more an observation, and I think it's a very important topic to bring up in terms of the hidden curriculum. RCPI have recognised this in recent years, and they now have a programme of mentorship for both mentees, and they have a formal one-day programme or one-day education session you can do as a mentor and a mentee. And they're looking to target it for people in higher specialty training and for consultants. And I think it's very important. Every trainee that I'm aware of is matched with a trainer, but of course the relationship with a mentor is different. Yeah. So I welcome, and I think it's a very positive advance. So I think every speciality should be looking to develop it.
No, it's a point really well made, and there are also inside ESTRO, we've now got emerging our radiation oncology group, a number of mentor type programs, and having been a mentor in one of those programs, you actually get a lot out of it as being a mentor yourself. So for established consultants, please do take part. It's very, very worthwhile doing for sure. No other questions? No? Yeah, Ashley, we're over here.
Thanks, Killian. Just a question for you. Do you think that trainees should be assigned a mentor, or they should seek out a mentor?
I think that's a really good question. I think there should be an opportunity for assignment. So I think something similar where the mentor has to be very willing to do it, and it's quite a time burden as well. So you want to anyone who's volunteering to do this to be eager to do it. And there's also a partnership, so the mentee will have to be be willing to row in and to engage with the meetings and engage with the program itself. I would probably think that it would be good to have assigning a mentor. I think that sometimes organically mentorship relations can happen for certain personalities, or certain people on training schemes can gravitate to a person or a senior person, and that's perfectly fine. But you might have some trainees that may not naturally gravitate to a mentor, and then I think it's important for equality that there is within the program that their mentor and mentee is matched and assigned. So I would probably think that would be a fair approach.
Thank you.
Great, thanks, Ashley. If there are no more questions, what is one down the middle of the back, just over there? Oh, yes. All right.
So just a quick question. You've talked about the mentor-mentee program for the trainees. I was wondering, do you think this could be extended to the people, NCHTs working as standalone? You yourself said you were into medical oncology, but you were steered towards Red Onc by Dr. Brennan. So somebody like, who's working in oncology or any other field, they're not sure where to go, who to ask for advice. Do you think this can be extended to the...
I think you've highlighted a really important point, that there is certain mentorship moments in your career which are kind of vital. And I think transitioning from SHO to a higher training scheme, or transitioning from an intern to a basic specialty scheme, are really key moments in your career. And I know in Cork we have created a non-training medical SHO program, and I think and there's mentorship as part, just training and mentorship as part of that. So I think those moments of where you're transitioning are really key times for mentorship. So I think having programs within local hospitals for training for NCHDs who are looking to transition to a training scheme, I think is important.
And more so for the hospitals away from Dublin, like in let's say Donegal or elsewhere, because there's no training programs there, and people don't get exposure. NCHDs don't get the exposure. So I think they're missing out on that.
It's increasingly something not just colleges but employers are thinking to do. So it also kind of fits into that domain too as well. Anyway, thank you very much, Killian. That was great. Thank you. Now, our next speaker this morning is a fellow Queen's alumni, Dr. Mark Dornan. So Dr. Dornan is a nursing academic and early career researcher at Queen's with a focus on cancer survivorship and artificial intelligence in nursing. And Mark's going to tell us about AI in research and in the clinic. Mark, floor is yours.
Thank you very much indeed. Thank you. Perfect. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm absolutely delighted to be here, and thank you so much for the invitation to come down. I am very conscious that it is Friday afternoon. We've just had lunch, so you're going to hear a Northern Irishman talk at exceptional speed to get through this. I have 10 minutes. This is AI. Everybody's talking about it. So what I can say in 10 minutes is just about whetting our appetite and some of the things that we really do need to consider as well. So by way of introduction, 3 important things that I want to share about me is that I have 2 giant fluffy dogs. And if we were doing this online, they would very much be part of the presentation because they are part of all of the presentations I do online. As Gerry said, I'm an academic at Queen's. I am a registered nurse by background, and now I work in the School of Nursing and Midwifery, and do a lot of work within cancer survivorship and artificial intelligence, and also have a secondment job to one of our partnering trusts for our research position. And thirdly, I ruin every photo that I'm in, which is absolutely wonderful. I don't know about you, but in Northern Ireland, whenever something significant happens, you put it in the local paper. Does that happen here? No? I don't know. Maybe it's a rural County Down thing. I don't know. Anyways, a very significant moment happened. My research that I'm going to share with you a little bit with my PhD was in cancer survivorship. So, of course, that had to go in the local paper, which is absolutely delightful. But then this is what appeared in the local paper. Absolutely devastating. And at least they got my age right. I am indeed 24. But what am I doing here today? Why am I here? So first of all, my research is in cancer survivorship, specifically for people living with head and neck cancer and their families. So we developed an intervention which we have tested with patients and family members all around some of the challenges of eating and drinking with other people after they have received their diagnosis and also their treatment. This has been expanded further to international collaborations with France, and we're also just about to publish the MASC, the Multinational Association of Supportive Care in Cancer, I'm sure you're aware of it, an international guideline on how you support patients living with head and neck cancer. So that's some of the areas that I continue to work in as well, a little more on survivorship and not so much within head and neck cancer, but it's something that I'm going to shamelessly plug now. For AI, so a lot of people are talking about this at the moment. I'm really trying to get ahead of the curve, trying to really get our feet into this within nursing, within healthcare professions, within oncology. So these are some of the things that I've been part of. On the right-hand side, you can see that I created a framework and published a framework, and that's about starting very slowly with what we understand as AI within healthcare context. So every nurse and AI nurse, take that and use it for any health profession you want, is that there are no longer going to be an excuse for why we're not using AI, but we must tread carefully at this point. The bottom 2 that you can see there on the right-hand side of your screen, sorry. So we have just launched a cross-sectional study, and really that's about behavioural intention, trust, and ethics of use within nursing and midwifery. And we are also then just about to launch a multi-wave repeated cohort study, AI Train, and that's an educational intervention to support really nurses and midwives again, but within any healthcare professionals about how you interact with this. Where's the governance? Where's the responsibility within artificial intelligence within your clinical domain? And the top ones, which are quite interesting, a bit more fun, so pharmacology education. I created a chatbot, which was to support evidence-based nursing, and that's fully functional at the moment, and that's a lot of fun. And then the third one down, I created some AI robots, which are now used by the nurses in our school, and that's for advanced assessment and consultation models, where they can have these AI-powered patients come in with a variety of biopsychosocial problems, and they can assess and use that, but they can also get the transcript back so they can really hear and reflect upon what it is they used, what language they used, the questions they used, and benchmark against national standard approaches. Within the hidden curriculum, absolutely delighted whenever I got asked to come and share with you, but even more delighted whenever I found out what the topic of this presentation was. My initial degree was that in divinity, and one of the biggest, we got asked to read a lot of books. A famous theologian and philosopher, Ivan Illich. I'm sure many of you have heard of him, and he's an Austrian theologian, and he wrote a massive book that got a little bit of heat from the medical community called Medical Nemesis. I'm sure some of you have read it, but I actually brought his other book with me today, and it was about deschooling society, and in it he has a section on the hidden curriculum, written in the 1970s, and how apparent how appropriate that is for today. And in that, he really wants us to try and understand that whenever our institutions teach us far more about what they do not say than what they do say. As all of you have gone through university and now clinical training programs, you will have learned a lot more than what the curriculum says. And that is so true today whenever we think about with AI, and particularly what is happening and how people are using artificial intelligence as well. People are teaching themselves. It's in the quiet, it's informally, it's at corridors, it's at home, it's at late night. We're using it in lots of different ways. I use it all the time. I used it to support making this presentation today, or making this PowerPoint slides. We do it for drafting emails. We do it for preparing resources, maybe preparing for clinics. But none of this is written into any curriculum. We're doing it ourselves. We're discussing it informally, and none of it is mentored either. So the curriculum within AI is not what it is and not what it does, but with the hidden curriculum is about what professionals are learning about it and how they are using that within their own practice. And this really matters because we know that hidden curriculum is powerful. It shapes our identity, our professional judgment, the culture of an organization, and how we promote that. Importantly, the hidden curriculum within AI today, as far as I can see, is that we value speed over depth. We value answers over understanding, and we use it for convenience rather than critique. And that's how we are using some of these models in which to inform how we do our jobs, but also with patients as well. So for me, the issue is not whether AI is good or bad. I think that question has been talked about a lot. But to me, it is how we are using it as professionals within academics and within our clinical practice as well. So briefly, I saw a few presentations earlier where we talked about cancer research. So just a few things. I think this is much more open in cancer research than it is in the following section in the clinic. Researchers are using it in very practical ways: evidence synthesis, planning for summarizing literature, forming research questions, using it as a brainstorming activity. Where I use it most is I have a grand document, which is using my research protocol, and you know the effort that goes into taking your protocol and putting it into grant proposals, putting it into ethics, putting it into participant information sheets. You're using the same thing, but really that admin burden is so high that this can translate across and reduce some of that on us. But none of these things are inherently problematic. They're actually really, really helpful whenever we try to use them. And there are some fascinating ways that we have tried to use this as well with our patients and potential participants as well. We often give out one participant information sheet and hope that it does the job for everybody, but that's simply not true at all. With patients with head and neck cancer, we have a real dichotomy of people who have head and neck cancer, socioeconomic backgrounds, literacy levels, health literacy levels. So actually using artificial intelligence to target people to try and support our recruitment into research trials or into studies is going to be made much more useful with tools that we can use here. We see it in screening, right across the piece, risk analysis or risk stratification, with radiology, anything with massive data sets. So radiology is a massively sophisticated one and much more ahead of some of the other areas of clinical practice. Precision medicine, both in diagnosis, but then also in aftercare and supportive care, and in clinical trials as well too, where we're using that to think about burden and administration burden, and also matching patients to trials and matching trials to patients too. So it's not fringe, it is happening. We've seen that this morning and this afternoon as well too. But importantly, what are our professional bodies talking about this? So ESMO, and last year published a specific guidance on the safe and responsible use of large language models. So large language models, there's three of them they identified in their paper. So that with patients, large language models with healthcare professionals, and large language models with workflow. We don't have a lot of information about AI, large language models with patients, because we're still a little bit tentative about using AI with patients, but we do see it a lot in workflow mechanisms. So where they suggested that some of the things that we need to look at here is transparency, clinical governance, and accountability. ASCO then as well too, so the ESMO equivalent, really beneficial for analysing large data sets, improving, again, matching patients to trials, supporting trial adaptation and responding to safety concerns, but also then to that real burden that goes along to trial operations, data management, and what we do with those two. But again, to some considerations that we need to look at there: human supervision, ethical insight, interoperability. We see a lot of this. I was recently reading a paper too where the biggest, so essentially it took patients in ED and pulled some of their metrics together to refer early earlier to palliative care, because an earlier referral to palliative care is a better marker of quality of life or quality of death. However, that algorithm didn't work clinically because clinicians finished work at 5 o'clock on a Friday and didn't come back until Monday, but this kept churning out the referrals all weekend, so by the time any of the staff came in on Monday, they were absolutely overworked and overburdened that it took the rest of the week to catch up on the referrals there. And that's great that it was referring patients earlier, so they were getting some more supportive care earlier. However, there are limited real-world evaluations of the clinical significance of an earlier referral and timeliness of those referrals as well. So just because people tell you AI is really good and hypes it up, there are still few and far between real-life evaluations of how it actually impacts those who are working in the clinic and the clinical significance and benefit of that to patients. So it does work, we just don't know how much. So just whistling on, nearly finished with this one too. And so we can see actually AI is really quite open within the research environment. Within the clinic though, this is where the hidden curriculum really comes into it as well. So by stark reality, clinicians aren't really talking about this out loud. We're maybe throwing something into ChatGPT, maybe asking Copilot something as well. And we're maybe getting patients as well too to look at some of this. We're getting people, clinicians are reported in research and also the conversations that I have, getting to do some evidence summaries, evidence synthesis, asking some of those more difficult questions. Okay, how do I explain this in some way? But we're not talking about it, we're keeping it secret because we're not quite sure what the temperature check of the room is of how everybody else is using it. And in a room like today, you'll have people who will be really experienced in machine learning, deep learning, and people who are just on the other side and not quite ready to use it yet. So within healthcare, we see this real dichotomy of people approaching this artificial intelligence, but patients are already there. It's no longer Dr. Google, it's Dr. ChatGPT. They're bringing these questions that ChatGPT or other platforms to us to ask us these questions. Why am I not getting this treatment? Why is this happening in the United States and not here in Ireland or in the UK? So very important that we actually understand that how we're going to sensitively combat that, how we're going to use it, and also be transparent that we might be using it as well. So I could talk a lot about different pieces of technology, but I'm only going to mention two because I think there's two topical. One for me is about self-management, and that's really about giving the patient the tools in which to do this. And I don't mean by self-management and more education. I think about giving them real, proper self-management theory, social cognitive theory, built AI tools about motivation, about competence, about nudging, and giving all of those things to self-manage with a longer-term issues that arise from their treatment or their cancer, from their treatment or from living with the after effects of the disease. So I think that is going to be really important, something we need to embed in. And this is why we need oncologists and clinicians in part of the conversation. They have the real-world examples of how this can be used. You don't want to be an end user, you want to be a co-creator within artificial intelligence. You want to be sitting in those rooms where people are designing some of these algorithms that are going to impact you and impact the patients that you work with and care for. So we need to be those co-creators. And secondly, the other one as well, and I'm not sure if you've seen this, but the NHS England just recently announced a massive list of ambient listening technologies. And ambient listening technology is just a piece of equipment that sits with you in the clinic and listens to the conversation or consultation that you have and automatically pulls all of the information that it's listening to and populates into your electronic health record and can automatically populate referrals system for you. So instead of what takes maybe 10 minutes, it can take 3 seconds to take that conversation and put it in there. Of course, massive issues around consent. Where does the data lie? How is that audited? What is the trail with? GDPR, all of those things. But they have recently gone ahead and said, we've got this technology, we're going to use it. And that might be something that is happening here too. But I think that is going to really ease clinicians' work on that as well. However, in my own example, whenever I was using my AI robots who were simulating patients with the nurses, all well and good until it got to the girl from Derry, and boy did it understand a word that she was saying. So it's very important that we have bots or things that we're working with that are contextual to where we're working as well too. So, and when we listen to the transcript, hilarious, it just didn't understand a word that she was saying. So in the final 30 seconds, 3 things that I think AI we need to talk about: ethically, sustainability, and bias as well. So AI will never ever shoulder the responsibility that you do. It will never stand in front of a patient and explain its decision-making process, and it will never shoulder the weight of a moral decision either. Secondly, our bias within that as well. We need clinicians built into there as well. We need to address that bias of women within this, people of colour, gender minorities, that is being missed out in current models and LLMs. Now it is getting better. And thirdly as well, we need to think about sustainability. It is a mature question that we need to have with all of our digital systems and the amount of energy that is consumed by them. So for an example, one patient might have a petabyte of data on their just oncology records. And just for sheer size, a gigabyte, if we think of a gigabyte as a shoebox size, a terabyte would be the size of a small room, a living room. A petabyte of data is a warehouse or a large shopping, an Asda. You have Asda? Yeah, Asda, Tesco, something like that. That's a petabyte of data for each patient with just their oncology records in there. And whilst that might sit in the cloud, it still needs energy and power to use that. So we need to be ethically treading carefully. And lastly, as well too, I would say this as well, fast thoughts. AI is fast, it is convenient, it gives you the answer instantly. Whenever I went to get this book in the library, and I was really glad I did, I picked up a few others as well. Because when you go to AI and ask the question you're looking for, it gives you the answer that you need. But we don't operate like that as humans. We need depth and nuance. We read around a topic as highly trained academics and clinicians here. We do spend a lot of time in the nuance and a lot of time in the dark trying to figure things out. And AI just doesn't do that for us. And the second thing as well, you might not remember much of what I said today. You might remember that I have 2 fluffy dogs, and you might remember that I was part of a drugs bust in my PhD gown. But that is the important and hidden curriculum. AI can replace processes. AI can support decisions, but it will never, ever replace that of human presence. It will never replace personality or human judgment. And that's the connection right at the heart of what it is that we do. And that, I think, is what hidden curriculum of AI is reminding us of. Thank you.
Thanks, Mark. Thanks, Mark. That's a very thoughtful and thought-provoking talk in a way. In terms of obviously doing research and so on, I mean, we obviously can shortcut processes, but do you get a sense a lot of people are using this to draft systematic reviews and stuff like that? And is there a place for a systematic review in the era of AI?
Excellent question. Yes, no, thank you so much. So recently I'm part of 2 systematic reviews at the moment, one which is in AI and diabetes in primary care, and we had over 1,000 hits, and we got down to 8 papers. And it took us weeks as a team to siphon through all of that using traditional methodological paradigms and structures, weeks. We ran the same search in AI as well, and it took a few minutes when we used agentic AI to try and ascertain that. It took a few minutes, and it came out with 4 hits of the 8 that we had, but it took a fraction of the amount of time. So yes, I do think there is a place. I think this is where we have to wrestle with the thought, is AI an expert tool? And are experts using it? So we can do systematic reviews, but people who do not know how to systematic reviews, will they still get the same evidence and be able to appraise that? AI might not be able to do it, but certainly there is something, I think, with getting the evidence faster.
And just in that space, obviously, we hear about AI hallucinations. I've come across it where it's made up a reference that doesn't actually exist. I mean, how prevalent is that? Are there any ways that we can be protected from that or prevent that?
Absolutely. Bane of my life at the moment, because I'm marking student essays. I recently marked a student essay where they cited 30 references and 19 of them were fabricated. So massive, massive problem. We see this as well. Barristers citing laws that are made up by ChatGPT within courts, and there was in the BBC News recently. So again, too, we don't want to be citing incorrect trials, and it is happening. You do see it in some published records. Very difficult.
So if you're going to shortcut stuff, check your references before you
Please check your references, yes.
And get rid of your M dashes, isn't that the thing?
Get rid of your M dashes, yeah, unless you're writing a novel.
Any questions from the floor for Mark? No. Yeah, one down the back, just so we get a mic there. Thank you.
Mark, thank you for that fantastic presentation. It's so interesting. Maybe this is not a fair question to you, but in a public hospital in Ireland where we're using Microsoft Office 2013.
Yes.
You're lucky.
Yes.
Are we institutionally held back from moving forward with these types of amazing technologies? And are we getting it all wrong with regard to IT, infrastructure and security? I mean, it's probably a much bigger question than just around AI, but on that, are you using AI in like a piece of software that you purchased, or is it more just a sort of online stuff that you're accessing? Thanks.
Yeah, no, thank you so much. No, absolutely. So you're totally right. Our IT infrastructure doesn't really support this at the moment. And even at that, the biggest problem is that if we do go and purchase some of these is interoperability. And we have seen evidence where actually in a hospital, they will implement a new AI platform, which is supposed to save clinicians time. But actually that means you're now opening an additional platform into everything else that you already have to open on a very slow, creaky health platform, and it's not saving you time, and people then abandon it because they can't see the evidence of it. So yeah, we need to be careful. So we can't overhype or underhype this enough. People who are overhyping it are probably trying to sell you something, but it's never going to fit within your architecture. And then what I use as well, so institutionally we do have access to a few paid things, and there's some things that they will pay for us at the university, not at the trust site, and that's a sort of different story. And then some things that we want to use a little bit more for, we try to get the free version first, prove it works, and then proceed in getting some funding for that.
Okay.
Good question.
Angela, question from Angela here.
Thank you. I think it's something that so many organisations are looking at the moment. Within Cancer Trials Ireland, we're actively exploring it, and in fact it formed one of the themes at our board strategy day on Monday. And we're really looking, it's that balance of getting the base correct.
Mm-hmm.
We're taking on advice from our IT providers around cybersecurity. It's the crawl, walk, run approach.
Mm-hmm.
And we know that, staff use it to a certain extent, and we're trying to get that right in terms of which platforms and so on. So it was really just more to make the audience aware. We will be forming a national working group to discuss learnings around AI. And on that note, we would love to reach out to you if that's okay. Thank you.
Saying we're actually, in the clinic, we're actually using it to auto-delineate normal tissue contours in radiation oncology, and we even a bit around a chatbot about supporting patients through radiation. So we must get those all linked in too as well. That's brilliant. Thank you very much, Mark.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Now, from one end of the country to the other, our next speaker is Professor Ruth Clifford. Professor Clifford is a consultant haematologist at University Hospital Limerick, director of the Limerick Cancer Trials Group, and a translational co-chair of the Haematology and Lymphoma DSSG at Cancer Trials Ireland. Ruth's going to tell us about driving collaboration in cancer research. Ruth, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Gerry, and thank you to the organisers for inviting me here today. And Mark has nicely set the scene at the end of his talk, talking about human connection and how necessary that continues to be. And I suppose that's really the theme of my talk here for the hidden agenda this afternoon, using our Limerick Cancer Centre as an example when we developed our strategy and the links that we needed to make to thrive and develop an improved clinical trial portfolio. So hopefully you can learn something from this here today. So as I mentioned, I'm based in Limerick. As you can see, we have a population that's increasing, but every population, every healthcare region has its own demographic. And we have quite an older rural population and quite a disadvantaged population also. We have 6 hospitals, but the Cancer Centre is set in one hospital, as many of you will know. And we have an active clinical trials unit for 20 years, but increasing in our clinical trial capacity really since about 2018. And we're linked with the University of Limerick. So a number of years ago, when we were applying for the HRB grant, we had to take a step back and think about our cancer research strategy and develop a new strategy that really would be future-proofed. We wanted to look to the future and have it as a sustainable strategy. We wanted to look at our demographic. What did our Midwest patients need? And I'll come to that. And we wanted to have equitable access to clinical trials, which is a difficult thing to do. And as I said, we wanted to diversify our portfolio, and we will come to that thinking about our aging population and rural population. And of course, we wanted to strengthen our national links with Cancer Trials Ireland and other cancer centres, developing better partnerships for referring patients out, maybe for studies we weren't going to open locally, and international collaborations. So I'll touch on a couple of examples of these as I go through my talk. So first of all, we decided to focus on the 5 big cancers as part of our strategy, because these are the most common cancers, and because we were a smaller centre with quite a young academic footprint. Our School of Medicine was just open 17 years, and the academic footprint of UHL is just growing. So, we can't do everything. We all have limited resources as well. So this is really where the collaboration comes in linking with other partners who may be opening other studies or more niche studies. So that comprises the 4 most common solid tumours and blood cancers coming in there from the National Cancer Registry Ireland reports, in at around 10%, similar to colorectal cancer. So I've highlighted here on the slide various collaborations that I feel are important. There are many others, not everything is included here, and kind of divided them into certain groups about who you need to be thinking about, developing your relations with. And certainly the patients, carers, and our PPI group, are central to this and have become a big part of our Limerick Cancer Trials group. Working closely with our local principal investigators, attending our DSSGs and working with our principal investigators nationally is very important. Within the hospital directorates and the executive in the hospital, we have to work very closely. We have a new research directorate, so that we can progress staff hiring and getting our contracting through in a timely fashion, so that we're an attractive site for opening studies. And as I mentioned earlier, the university, and I'll come to the collaborations with that shortly, of course, national bodies such as the NCCP, Cancer Trials Ireland, of course, and industry and CROs. So really on this slide, I want to focus on, yes, our strategy, but really the people who are going to bring it about. So myself and Niamh Peters direct the trials unit locally, so that's covering off our haematology and medical oncology clinical trials. However, we've expanded out to Professor Christina Fleming's colorectal surgery group, and she's the lead for surgical oncology, and we have 3 studies opening this year in the area of colorectal cancer survivorship. In addition to Christina leading on that, Professor Rose Galvin, the head of the Aging Research Centre, is helping us develop better integrated care models and survivorship studies. Again, if you think back about our demographic, we have an ageing rural population, and we are looking to see through cohort studies, particularly in blood cancers and prostate cancer just in this coming year, what the real needs of our patients are, and can we design our investigator-initiated trials in survivorship to address our patients' needs. Again, listening to the patient's needs and developing from there, and Professor Rose Galvin is an expert in this area. In addition, we want to address inequalities and social deprivation and include these patients into our clinical trials. I mean, it's not as simple as that. If we're undertaking, multinational clinical trials, we're not designing the trial, but there may be ways we can remove barriers for these patients who have difficulty in enrolling in clinical trials, and make things easier, and I'll give you a little bit of information on that. But you can see we have reached out across the hospital, not just within the cancer services, and over to the University of Limerick for additional PIs to address our strategy. And then Professor Aideen Culhane is the director of the Limerick Digital Cancer Research Centre, so that's the research centre sitting in UL, and she's a lead in cancer genomics and data science, and we have a work package covering that. Again, we're talking about sustainability and future-proofing, and real-world evidence is something I'll touch on. And this is underpinned by education and training, thinking of the next generation of researchers coming along. So just to quickly mention our patient and public involvement in research group, we have a Limerick Cancer PPI group. This was the first in the HSE to be developed. It started out of my clinic with 3 blood cancer patients, helping us on a couple of projects we have. And over the last 4 years, this has grown to having 16 members on our panel. We have a steering committee that is separate to the 16-member panel with our terms of reference, and I think it works really well, and our patients are very much embedded in strategy development, reviewing our trials, and outreach. Sorry. So this is a bit of a busy slide with pictures, but quite nice, I think, to show the representation that we have across the University of Limerick and UHL in various disease-specific subgroups locally. So since 2022, myself and Aideen have worked to get clinical and scientific leads across disease areas. These groups, so these are the leads of the groups, and there are various members within the group. It's very interdisciplinary, and it's cross-sectional, and this is looking at translational science, biobanking, some clinical research, quality of life work, and survivorship. And this is really the core, the foundation of what we're looking to grow into the future. So these collaborations, this is time-consuming, meeting people, bringing them along, attracting people in, but it's very worthwhile because then you can have your diverse portfolio, and it's very interdisciplinary. So I think this is a strength we have in Limerick. So just coming back to one of our work packages where we want to focus on breaking down the barriers for patients to enroll in clinical trials. You can just see some statistics there about pockets of severe disadvantage we have in the Midwest. I mean, this is the case across the country. It's not a unique thing, but there certainly is an issue in Limerick, and we're looking to enroll these patients into clinical trials and make it easier to do that. Just a kind of a little bit of a depressing slide looking at the poorest outcomes for cancer patients from the National Cancer Registry. This is in the Midwest. Now, this is not solely due to the deprivation. There are other factors, but we need to address this. This is really an urgent need. So this is why it is central to our work package. So I'll just give you a little bit of information on what we've been doing. So to develop inclusive clinical trials, we first of all have undertaken systematic scoping reviews in the area of older adults and rural participants, because these patients are marginalised patients. This is not our sole focus. There are other ways to define disadvantage. And then what we have done is we have hired a key worker. So in other places around the world, this person is called a patient navigator. Mary is our key worker in our clinical trials unit. And if our patients who, when we are screening for enrolment in clinical trials, fulfill the criteria of being marginalised, we have about 8 criteria, Mary can work with our patients to see if there are barriers that can be addressed through resources that are already in place, but the patient may not know about this, and pinpointing the patient towards that to see if we can encourage our patients to get on and stay on clinical trials. And I think this is a fantastic piece of work that will reap rewards, and something that we may be able to discuss more nationally. And I'm working with Seamus and Emer in Cancer Trials Ireland on kind of progressing this piece of work. So I think this is very important and exciting, but it's in its early stages at the moment. And then just to talk about the partnerships outside of Limerick. So we've made lovely partnerships within Limerick that are becoming fruitful, but we're building on service delivery pathways that are present already. These have been here for a number of years, and I'm just outlining our referral pathways for service delivery for our patients. So we very much want to focus on referring patients out for studies that we do not have available in UHL. And very much with Cork initially, we've developed a very close relationship, and we're looking forward to your meeting in Cork next Wednesday. And Galway and James's were 2 of the other key cancer centres that we're working closely with. But to this end, I just wanted to mention, when we want to refer patients out for study, or indeed capture patients ourselves for enrolment in trials, this can be quite a laborious process if it's done manually. So we have developed an algorithm in UL with my colleague Megana for a clinical trials scraper. So cancer trials that are available across the country can be matched against criteria that are we have inclusion and exclusion criteria built into this, and then can be matched against patients who are newly diagnosed or relapsed to select trials for patients. Of course, the stumbling block is moving into the IT department in UHL, but we're working on that. I think we're all, in our various cancer centres trying to do this a little bit better, but this is certainly something that can help with referring out. And part of this work package for developing our partnerships in the other cancer centres is also setting up a sort of a care package for the patients, and I think that was mentioned earlier by one of our speakers. It's difficult for patients to travel, and setting out or giving confidence to the patient if they are going to another centre, rather than just referring them out and having no contact until they're referred back and off trial. So we're working on that as well, and that's a nice collaborative piece. And then I have two more pieces to go through, just the power of real-world evidence. So I was talking about data and our data work package, and I think, to future-proof what we are doing, we need to be collecting the data in a better way for our patients. We're not currently doing this very well in the Republic of Ireland. I was at that Cancer Data Forum that Miriam was at earlier in the week, and it's great to see what's going on in Northern Ireland. But even with the patient healthcare record, the electronic healthcare record, it's difficult to move things from there out. So, there's lots of legislative barriers that we need to move through. But I think this paper is remarkable to show that you have 8 different cancers, 1.7 million patients. And this is the power of joining up electronic healthcare records and the National Cancer Registry data. I think this is remarkable and what can be done. And Ireland needs to get on board with this. And just a small example of another collaboration. This is within the blood cancer field, but is only one work package in the eHealth Hub. So the eHealth Hub is a HEA-funded €4 million grant that Aideen Culhan and Mark Lawler are rolling out, and I'm just responsible for the blood cancer work package. And we have 2 PhD students, one in the University of Limerick and one in Queen's University Belfast, working on this with us. So we're collecting data at source, we're harmonising it so it looks the same. We've defined the data dictionaries in the 3 disease areas. We have 3 overarching questions that will be answered when we collect the data, but really the key piece is doing the work to harmonise it, join it together, and use this as an exemplar of how we can collect real-world evidence. And there are a few other work packages looking at solid tumours as well. You can see the success that we have had out of 3 centres, and this is going to be expanded to 11 sites, our 8 cancer centres, and 3 trusts in the north. So this is very exciting, and another collaboration with the data science people. So just to finish up, something I'm really proud of is the CLL Alliance. So, we have to enjoy what we're doing. Sometimes what we're doing can be very challenging. So it's really nice to work with like-minded people, and many of you are here in the room. My main area of research is in CLL, and we founded a group 2 years ago in Ireland of CLL hematologists, or of hematologists focusing in CLL, and scientists. And this is really going to help us move forward with, we've an excellent clinical trial footprint in CLL over the last number of years at Cancer Trials Ireland, linking with the German CLL study group. But coming together as a group and formalising this can allow us to be taken more seriously for our international collaborations. We're having our 2nd academic meeting in 2 weeks' time. We've been taken on board with the NCCP. We have a new clinical advisory group just in CLL, so we're making good progress. And these type of groups will help us, undertake further research, further clinical trials. That real-world evidence study can be rolled out successfully because of these connections. So I'd just like to finish up by showing my last slide, which is the drug trials open per year in our centre in Limerick. And one key point I want to make is that, through collaboration and that work we've put in over the last few years, you can see that across oncology and hematology, the numbers of trials are opening. Yes, we started from a low bar, but we're on the up. And one other thing I'd like to highlight is protected time. So since I had protected time in 2022, we can start to see there's an increase in the hematology studies. And when there's a dedicated clinician to medical oncology, there were a lot of studies, and that's happening again now that we have that on board. So I just wanted to make that point, that we need support to do this. And with that, I'll finish up. Sorry for going over time. Okay, thank you very much.
Ruth, that's really brilliant. That's fantastic overview. So much to pack out there, and really some great things. Thinking of our agenda, the hidden agenda, one of the you've provided fantastic leadership in hematology and Limerick, but the key theme is collaboration. If you're thinking about collaboration generally, and obviously we're all keen to collaborate, what's the secret sauce? What do we need to be or to do to collaborate well as an oncology community?
I think it is, I think this was mentioned by Professor Crowe earlier, we have to meet in person, and we have to put the effort in to meet and give the relationships attention. People want to, they want to feel, important in their role. You have to give them that time. It can't just be an email, I need you to join this collaboration, can you just do that, tick box. So I think that's the key. We have to put energy into our relationships for collaboration. It has to be meaningful. And I suppose if it's grounded by whatever the beacon is that was spoken about earlier, think of our patients, think of what this is going to bring back for our patients. If you think you don't have time for it, well, maybe don't bother setting up that collaboration, because you don't want to let that person down either. So it's that, I think that, truthful interaction with the people that you're building the relationship with.
People really matter in that human connection, for sure as well. Nothing replaceable by AI, I'm afraid.
Definitely not.
But there we go. Any questions from the floor? Anybody bring up any points to that? No? Okay, fantastic. Great, well, that was a really fantastic talk, Ruth. Thank you very much. Now, we're on the very last talk for our session from Dr. Laia Raigal, and Laia is a cancer research program manager with the UCC Cancer Trials Group and a lecturer at University College Cork. And of course, Cork are running a very big day next week. You'll maybe mention that later on. But Laia, it's very good to have you up here. You're going to tell us about breaking down silos and building a unified research team in Cork. The floor is yours.
Hello, everyone, and thank you so much to Cancer Trials Ireland for inviting me today to speak. And thank you, Gerry, for the presentation. I think today I've been just asked with the most challenging presentation. There, I was like, those are not my slides. Not because of the title, I think because of the time. I'm the last speaker, so I'm just going to try to make it short and sweet, and I hope I bring something to this session. So, my name is Laia Raigal. I'm the program manager of cancer research at UCC and the manager as well of the UCC Cancer Trials Group. And today I want to talk about something that's not always visible in slides or metrics, but that's fundamental, and it shapes how well we do in research, and it's about how we work together. This is a story, what I'm going to be talking today, about breaking down silos, not as a buzzword, which is what it sounds like, but as a practical and ongoing effort to build a unified cancer research ecosystem in Cork. So I want to start with the why I'm talking about breaking down silos. As an image, you can see here that you have a jigsaw, lovely pieces, they are well-defined, they are shiny, but they don't fit with each other. So this is kind of an example of how we don't work, sometimes we don't work together, we might just be working in silos and we need just to collaborate. So silos slow science, as a just simple sentence. And when those pieces don't connect with each other, 5 things can happen. We can see duplication of efforts, we can see fragmented communication, we have slower decision-making, and opportunities are simply missed because people are not in the, as you were saying, where Ruth was mentioning that we have to be meeting in person, so we are not doing that, we're kind of missing those opportunities. But importantly, silos don't just work, doesn't just hurt outputs, they hurt people. So they contribute to burnout, to inefficiency and frustration, and in cancer research, where time matters deeply, that cost is just simply too high. To understand why breaking down silos matters so much, we need to talk about research landscape that we've built in Cork. Structurally, we've done a major milestone in the recent years. So in 2022, we established the UCC Cancer Trials Group. And recently, the CUH UCC Cancer Center got an OECI accreditation. these aren't just badges, these are enablers. So it has strengthened our relationship that historically operated in parallel. And hospitals, public institutions, and university teams now are working and talking to each other. With these structures came as well new capacity and new expertise. So one of the examples that we got with the UCC Cancer Trial Group was the new role, the Academic Study Coordinator, which supported IITs, which extremely made a massive change in our structure. And as well, of course, we have the strength of the HRB, CRF, UCC in our area, and of course, the national collaboration with Cancer Trials Ireland. But crucially for us, we also had a momentum with the Cancer Research UCC providing a unifying umbrella and leadership that is genuinely committed to progress. So we had a question there. How, with all these pieces, how do we fit them together? So we did a step back and we kind of thought, what do we need? What is important? So the vision, a unified ecosystem. So what does a unified ecosystem of research look like? It looks like shared platforms, shared resources, joint Grainne applications, and teams solving problems together. This means one identity, one powerhouse working towards the same goal, but unity isn't automatic. What we faced, and what we faced while thinking about that, and we had, to be honest, we had legacy structures, we had communication gaps, we had resource competition, and simply even physical separation were those like the real challenges. So our goal was about bridging those gaps intentionally. So our action plan. Here is a snapshot of what has happened briefly in the last few years. So in 2023, we decided to create a leadership team just to think about and brainstorm about this situation. And we had a great leadership from Professor Roisin Connolly, who led this leadership team. And through 2023 and 2024, we began drafting a research framework. But we deliberately stopped and we paused to reflect, and we realized that we needed someone external to review what we were doing. So we actually asked for external consultancy to come and review what was the scenario. And because we didn't want something vague or unachievable, we wanted something realistic, and sometimes you just need to step back and get that advice from someone external who doesn't have the involvement within the ecosystem. So in 2024, we sought for that external strategic consultation, and intentionally we invited the challenge and this outside perspective, and this provided to be a revealing and valuable process, which allow us to understand our ecosystem and strengths, and of course our weaknesses, which are really important as well to keep in mind. Later the year, we redefined that framework, and we clearly articulated our unique value propositions. This was a learning journey, as I said, one that aligns us, one that challenges, and it definitely helped us to define the next steps properly. So our mission is clear and focused. So to strategically integrate a clinical expertise, cutting-edge research, and a patient voice in order to accelerate the translation of high-quality cancer discoveries from bench to bedside. Our vision is to position Cancer Research UCC as a leader in the development of delivery of next-generation cancer treatments, accelerating impactful research that improves patient outcomes. Our strategic advantages. So we connect academia and health into an operational ecosystem. We increase research efficiency through the coordination and shared infrastructure. And we embed patient outcomes, which is crucial, as a core driver for research priorities and decision-making. And we have a tagline there, which is connecting research and patients. And this is not only strategic, this is fundamental for our research and for our strategy. Our research themes, we decided of those research themes, which we have cancer therapeutics, where we focus on the development of and refining innovative treatments, from targeted therapies to immunotherapy and advancing radiation techniques. In the cancer microbiome, we are exploring how the microbiome influences cancer development and treatment response, opening new therapeutic possibilities. And the third program is the Living Well program, that we focus on outcomes that matters to patients beyond treatment alone, so quality of life, survivorship, and long-term impact. These themes are deliberately interconnected because patients don't experience cancer in silos, and neither should our research. Those are our strategic goals. I promise I'm not going to go through them, but just as an example that how we build those strategic goals, we build these 5 strategic goals based on how UCC had their strategy. That's why we call it as well framework, because we actually are following our main strategy, which comes from UCC. So we go from research, we have goals and action items from research and innovation to student success and training to global engagement, to staff and culture, and to our physical and clinical footprint. So I just take the opportunity, and actually Ruth mentioned it as well. So I would like just to take the opportunity to mention that next week, on the World Cancer Day, on the 4th of February, we are launching our framework. Like we are launching kind of, and we're going to be making some of the announcements that are going to be embedded in this future of cancer research that we envision. And we have great speakers like Professor Gerry, Hanna here with us today. So we hope like people can make it, and if not, I hope that people hear about the events, and we're really excited for that day happening next week. And just with this stuff of advertising the event for next week, this slide really captures what we are trying to do. At its simplest, this is about joining forces, bringing together things, expertise, and infrastructure that historically worked alongside each other, and aligning them into a single and connected ecosystem for research. Why does this matter? Because integration streamlines processes, improves collaboration, and ultimately accelerates patient access to innovative treatment. Less duplication, fewer handovers, and faster and more reliable delivery. So when systems talk to each other, what I'm trying to say here today, they work better together, and patients benefit sooner. So this is a crucial slide in this session for me today, kind of to be sharing how we are doing that. And this strategy doesn't deliver results on its own. I can be showing like this strategy and those goals, and they don't mean anything if we don't put it in place properly. So culture does. This slide is about culture, and I'm going to explain what is it about, and specifically 2 types of cultures that we want to embed to this research framework and to this ecosystem. First, innovation culture. So innovation culture is about our curiosity, ideas, and the freedom to ask why and what if. It's where new approaches are tested, where we learn from what works, what doesn't, and where we adapt science and technology and patient needs evolve. Innovation is what keeps our research relevant and forward-looking. Innovation gives us direction and momentum. As Professor Brennan was mentioning before, this is where investigator-initiated trial comes from that idea of that. I love that sentence that she said, everyone has a trial in them. So this is getting that idea. This innovation of cultures, what she was mentioning, it's that culture of everyone having that capacity of bringing those ideas. A second culture is the operational excellence culture. This is about, maybe a bit more boring, it's operational excellence is about governance, clear processes, quality, and consistency. Operational excellence gives us a stability and scale. So innovation without operational excellence leads to great ideas that never scale. Operational excellence without innovation leads to efficiency but stagnation. So together, they allow us to innovate responsibly, sustainability, and at a scale. So the fundamentals of all what I've explained today, it's people. So there are well-documented barriers in academic and translational research. So Killian just mentioned in his talk about the mentorship, and there's evidence of this inadequate mentorship, the lack of formal training, insufficient infrastructure, limited administrative support, funding pressure, and heavy clinical burden. So our goal and our vision and mission is having clear that we have those postgraduate students, we have principal investigator as well. We have alongside this structure, we have our professional and research staff, which are crucial for our structure. And what we want is that we build a proper trained and supported structure so that they will be facilitated and enable that innovative thinking and that operational thinking. And that's where it comes the investigator-initiated trials. That's what we want, and it has been mentioned today as well that these trials boost our accruals, boost something getting patients into trials. So it's something that is crucial for us, for our ecosystem, and it's important that we train people, and those investigator-initiated trials as well give that societal impact. I promise I'm finishing. So to finish, this is actually just to exemplify how we are doing so far. So these are some examples of our success so far. So in academic research impact, 1 of our 4 patients enrolled in the last 5 years have been coming from an IIT, from an investigator-initiated trial. We have strengthened our collaboration with clinicians and researchers. We are growing reputation as a research active and academically driven cancer research center. Here are some examples. Some of you might be familiar here. We have on the room Professor Jack Leeson, who would be the PI of the LIAMAC trial. We got the example of our successful trial with the LISA trial, having our clinical research nurse presenting at ASCO 2 years ago now. And as well, we have our current successful trial, which is a discontinuation study, which is recruiting in 2025, has been achieving over a 15% of recruiting patients in the hematology trial. Just to put you on the scene, the benchmark in Ireland is 6%, and the OECI benchmark is 10%. So we are over that 15% in that hematology area. As well, in trials and delivery operational excellence, we've been working with the sites. We have improved retention. We have improved processes. We are working closer together. We are meeting in person, which is crucial. AI doesn't solve everything. We need to meet, and we need to meet with people and get real solutions. And as well, another area that we have had some success so far is the talent and training and development area, where we are lucky that we have funding from Breakthrough Cancer Research to be funding our Breakthrough Cancer Research Fellow. We had Dr. Maeve Hennessy in the past, graduated 2 years ago. Then currently we have Dr. Emer Lynch. As well, we launched a structured mentorship program, and we are building this culture of feeling supported and having the proper resources and infrastructure. So here, just a few snapshots of our success so far. And so all this, what I'm showing here, that means that we have to work together, and we have to work, for us, is this culture of innovation and operational excellence. Both have to talk to each other, and we have to work together to break down those silos. And just to finish, so breaking silos is an ongoing work. It's not instant, it's not easy, but it's essential, and it's already underway. So together we are trying to make lasting change.
Laia, thank you. Thank you very much, Laia. That's a fantastic run through that. Just what people are thinking, in terms of obviously breaking down silos, one challenge we have in academia is recognition and recognizing, academic output through publications or grant income and so on. How do you manage that, or how do you make sure that's equitable and it doesn't form silos rather than break them down?
So this is an excellent question regarding that. Like we need to train people that they need to do research and they need to share that research. So it's important, the dissemination. So one of our pillars of having that training aspect is kind of letting people know that we need to work, and we need to let people know that what we are working on, if not, we'll keep working in silos. So if we are not sharing what we are working on, if we don't go out and tell people that, that this is our area of interest, we'll keep working in silos. So it's important, as we are saying, just work with each other, having even those mentorships programs, because that's just increase that network of people. And I'm a huge fan of AI, but of course AI is a tool, and we still need to be there to use that tool properly and to even teach people to use those tools to be more efficient and get more outcome from it.
Great, thank you very much. Any questions from the floor audience? No? No. Okay. So I think we're going to probably wrap this up now because we're well out of time overall, and move on to our last session. It remains me to thank our 4 speakers, 4 fantastic talks across the range of how do we do things better together, our hidden agenda, and what our culture and trials would be. So I just thank our 4 speakers again. And now I'm just going to hand over to Seamus, our chair, who's going to bring the meeting together. Thanks, Seamus.
So thanks very much, everybody, for being here today and for staying till the end, which we appreciate. So today's theme was sealing the gap, how to start in research and how to maintain in research. And the core thing around this today was a recognition that medicine is difficult, and that maintaining a research career in a job where there's emotional labour attached to it is a real challenge. And our hope, our ambition for today is that you'll have heard additional skills and additional speakers to allow that to happen, because if you practice in an area where research is embedded, patient care is better. And professional fulfillment is also greater as well. This is kind of what we've been looking at today in terms of the hidden curriculum. And our hope is that over the coming years we will look at how we can embed this in Cancer Trials Ireland outreach and working for you as trainees in terms of getting you involved and integrated in how we work. Today I had many people to thank. I'd thank our AV crew and the caterers outside. I'd like to thank the presenters, because I'm conscious of how much work goes into these presentations today, and how stressful it is to stand up on a platform here and give a talk or stand behind a poster and answer questions, and even just that kind of imposter syndrome that's there sometimes when you're standing there. So thank you, everybody, and you should be all hugely proud of the research that has been presented, the people that have come from the outside, like Professor Crow from the Medical Council, has been hugely impressed by the quality of presentations that are here. And I know I speak for all of the trainers when I say how lucky or privileged we are that ye are involved in the medical oncology and cancer treating communities, and our patients would benefit enormously from that. I'd like to thank the attendees as well, the organising committee members, and also the chairs who spoke today. The committee would also like to pay thanks specifically to a lady called Claire Hopkins, who I think maybe hasn't disappeared, but we have a small token of thanks for you. Claire's done huge. The secret sauce was mentioned by Gerry early on, and Claire is the secret sauce of today. So thank you very much, Claire. So finally, what everybody is waiting for, I'm going to, my co-chair, Linda, is going to mention the poster winners today, and then we will do the oral presenters.
Thanks, and I'd just like to echo Seamus's words. Congratulations to all the presenters today, because the amount of research that's going on across the country is really impressive. So you should all be really proud of yourselves. So there are 2 poster winners. The first is from University Hospital Galway, Omar Totonji, sorry for my pronunciation if that's incorrect, for closing the care gap for tele-oncology strategies for CDK4/6 inhibitors. Is Omar here? And then we finally have Janet Moyle from Beaumont Hospital assessing lung cancer age screen eligibility of patients with non-small cell lung cancers.
And now, in no particular order, I'd like to invite Una Diak to receive her prize for oral presentation. I think she's on call, which speaks to my slide about the emotional burden of oncology. So congratulations to her. And finally, without prejudice, I'd like to call Mary O'Reilly also to also receive her prize for oral presentation. And finally, Dr. Kevin Dunn from University of Limerick. So a significant underlying theme of the prizes is the mentors of the prizes. They are what I'm going to refer today, and subject to correction, the zillennial generation of consultants who have arrived and who have been trained under the programme here and have developed and are thriving. And that's reflected in the presentations that were present today and in the envelopes that are given today as well. And I'd like to say a special thanks to them. I would also like to say that we are a community, and the zillennial consultants are part of our community. And when there's a member in our community that is ill, I think it's important that we reflect on it. So I've heard that Dr. Tamir Magoob, consultant in Limerick, is critically unwell in ICU in Limerick and is gravely unwell. And our thoughts and prayers are with his family and with his colleagues who are deeply upset about what has happened, and we wish him well in the days and months ahead, and would pray for those of us who pray for his speedy and uneventful recovery. So I'm sorry to end the day on a bad word, but I think it would be disrespectful for him not to not to put him in our thoughts and prayers today. And so finally, I would just like to thank you all for being here today on behalf of Angela and myself in Cancer Trials Ireland. We're hugely proud in Cancer Trials Ireland to be part of such a dynamic community, and we look forward to seeing how your careers and lives develop and the impact you will have on cancer care in Ireland in the years ahead. Thank you very much for being here today, and safe home to you and your families. Bye for now.